everybody! Welcome to Let's Look at Pyre. Pyre is the new game from Supergiant Studios. Definitely one of the most famous indie studios in existence, I would say. And they have been for a while. You know, Bastion came out in 2011, maybe 2010. And that was their first game, you know, the kids getting I don't remember the exact narration from Logan Cunningham. You know, that was one of the hallmarks of that. Transistor came out in 2013 or 2014 and was kind of guilty of being, in my opinion, I still liked Transistor. I loved Bastion, played it way back when. I liked Transistor, and I beat Transistor actually on PS4. But I didn't do it on YouTube, and I also, by the end of Transistor, I was like, it's the exact same gimmick as Bastion. Different combat mechanics, and the combat mechanics were pretty fun, and strategic while still being novel, but a little bit too samey. Pyre, I'm happy to say, retains the trademark Supergiant sort of formula of being like just unbelievably gorgeous, and also bringing a new twist on an existing genre, but instead of being like a narrator narrating as you go through kind of like a character action game that also has strategy elements, instead it's almost like an RPG slash pseudo sports game as the primary gameplay, or the combat-based gameplay, mixed with almost the Banner Saga. I know I'm saying almost a lot, but that's because, you know, like all of their other games before, it's kind of a little bit unlike anything else. This is coming out on Steam today, July 25th, for 20 bucks. This is a review copy provided by Supergiant Games, and I've played about maybe an hour and 10 minutes so far myself. So think of it, the Banner Saga plus like Frozen Cortex. So the first thing I'm going to do, because there's a lot to show off here, and I don't want to talk about it as it comes in. I kind of have a structure that I want to follow here to make it easier to digest. We're going to start by just showing you the combat loop of the game by playing the Versus mode. So you can play Versus mode against AI, and this will be a good way for us to kind of show the battle system without actually doing so when the story tells us to show the battle system, because it's probably better for us to just see it like this. But I'm going to put the overlay up just for a second, because there are spoiler characters. I don't want to potentially, you know, run the risk of spoiling the game for somebody, because there's characters that we'll see here that I have not seen in the main story game so far. Maybe you care, maybe you won't. So we're just going to commence here, if you'll give me a moment, and talk about what's going on. So essentially it's a pseudo RPG, but the combat takes place in real time. I might as well show you the intro scene here. The combat takes place in real time, and it's about getting an orb into your enemy's goal. So it almost has a little bit of like RPG Rocket League sort of stuff going on. So we're just gonna have character select pop up here right now, and I'm gonna go take one of these loadouts that I've used in the past, and then I'll come back and explain what the heck we got going on. So I will just select, I mean, as of right now, I see 2, 4, plus another 9, 13, 19, 21 characters that you can choose from here, and you've got to make a squad of 3, but I'm going to go with, like, the world's most basic squad. You'll hear their names here, and that's fine. That's Headwind, and the Angry Inch. That's Joe Dariel, the Little Mermaid, and let's go with this guy right here. Alright, so there's our squad right there, and we're playing against the enemy squad, and it's gonna be a little complicated, but I'm gonna do my darndest to explain just what the heck is going on here, because it is, admittedly, a little bit confusing. So the overall objective is to get that orb that you see on the ground into the enemy goal. Don't you jump on me. Don't you jump on me. You hit the ground and you explode. So you can only play as one of your 3 characters at a time. Oh my god. And you can be killed very easily, and I probably will be. Fling this. Just fling it. Get it out of here. Each character has their own unique abilities, so the fact that there are 21 characters actually should be seen as a cause. There we go, we finally got there. This depletes their Pyre's HP, thus the namesake of the game, and allows us to eventually win. But then in the next round, we that unit that we scored with does not exist any longer, and as a result, it makes our life that much harder. So that's how you score. Every character has their own unique abilities, which again is why the fact that there are 21 different characters is actually a pretty sizable roster, because every single one of them has abilities that I believe are unique to themselves. At least that's how it seems in my experience so far. So what the heck is going on? Like, how are characters dying? How do characters live? every character has the ability to shoot a cast out from them, which can destroy any other character on the opposing team. So by holding B, I can do that. By the way, you can play this with keyboard and mouse or controller. It seems to work totally fine. So yeah, you can use your cast, and if your cast collides with the enemy, you'll destroy them. You might as well just score here, I suppose. And the other way that you can do it is if you're not holding the orb, you have an aura. Any unit that's holding the orb... Wow, they almost got me there. Any unit that's holding the orb does not have an aura. If your aura collides with them, and you can see the aura size is different unit to unit as well there. Dude, that was like a really strong play from the AI there. And they have gotten it. Then they die. And they'll respawn later. But the unit that scores does not respawn. So it's up to you to, like, again, pseudo sort of like Rocket League your way through this. Oh, I really thought I could just sneak by them. Sort of pseudo Rocket League your way through this, and don't even, dude. Score. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's actually like a 10 out of 10 gameplay loop, although I do like it, and in particular, I like the fact that it's. Please just come back to life. I like the fact that it's so unique. Like, they definitely shot for the fences on this one. They could have, and you'll see once we get into the main game, like the campaign side of the game, they could have just made this an RPG. And it would have made the experience so much less interesting if they had done so. Part of the draw... Oh, that was so stupid of me. Part of the draw is definitely that the... Oh, he's gonna do it! Part of the draw is that the game has its own unique primary gameplay loop going on with it that makes it interesting. It would have been much more generic if they had just done it like, oh, here's a turn-based battle system. I'm not saying this is necessarily better, merely that it's different, and I think its difference is part of its strength. Dude, they just smoked me on that one. The other aspects of the game, I'll just play this out here, because to be honest with you, I'm not good enough at this aspect. At least against the AI, and the story mode has been pretty easy so far. But I'm not good enough at this aspect to necessarily consider myself an authority. You can throw it into the goal as well, but you get less points. Well, you get a differing amount of points depending on when you what the score was when you throw it in. Like, for example, you can see this thing ticking up here. Now, if we can get it there in 15 seconds, we'll get the... we would get, or sorry, not 15 seconds, but we'd get 15 points for that. I don't know if I'm explaining this as well as I could be. We lost, which is the first time I've actually ever lost in this game. Congratulations, accusers, for beating me. The other side of the game is like a choose-your-own-adventure plus... Well, I mean, the choose-your-own-adventure is actually a really good description. I wouldn't deign to tell Supergiant who their influences are, but this really feels a game like a game that's inspired by games like the Banner Saga for sure. You know, the kind of Nordic Viking turn-based strategy plus choose-your-own-adventure game. And similar kind of like Oregon Trails aspects on a light degree as well. And also 80 Days, which is a woefully underplayed, although extremely well appreciated mobile game from, oh, the studio's name is passing me by right now, but it really just like as far as I'm concerned, the pinnacle of choose your adventure style games came out in 2014, I think. Ignore this. Return to versus mode. We're gonna show off that main gameplay loop here. So that's the novel meat of Pyre right there. Is that sort of gameplay system. I don't think it's 10 out of 10. I certainly don't get the same opinion that when I play that I do of, like, you know, the first time I played Rocket League, where I was like, this is so unique and cool that it's going to change the world to some extent. This is just novel, and I think that works well for it. I don't know if it's necessarily particularly something that's replayable as its own mode outside of the main gameplay loop, but your mileage may vary. By the way, no online co-op, local head-to-head, or versus the AI only, which is something that people have complained about, and I actually understand your complaint, because playing this online, I actually think in this case would add a lot to the game. So we're going to load our last checkpoint here. And that is the, those are the centerpiece kind of encounters of the game. The rest of it, though, is no slouch either, and this is really where I think you'll come to appreciate what kind of also comes to define the game, which is that it's uniquely beautiful and colorful. It's got kind of like a Klimt meets Don Bluth cell shading sort of thing going on here. So the gist of it, we play as a character called the Reader. And the reader is someone who essentially is literate, and they know how to read these ancient texts that allow us to figure out how the heck we're going to get out of what this place is called, which I can't even remember. It's like Deep Under or something like that, Down Under, but it's not in the Australian Men at Work sort of way, right? So we need to basically complete all of these rites, which are that ball throwing game that you just saw, in order to ascend out of this world and return to our home, because we've been exiled from it into this terrible place, Mad Max style. So we get a little choose your own adventure stuff going on here, and we can talk to people. This is Rookie. Rookie is one of the people on our team. We have another few guys like Tizo. You'll see him in a second. We got a minstrel that hangs out with us as well. This will be like light spoilers for the first part of the game. You can tell something's troubling Rookie, even though he seems relieved to see you. And then you just use either your mouse or your analog stick, and then you look at this. What, do you want to come in here? You know there's a dog on the screen? Hey, a sister, listen. I'm a sister because it's like a religious sort of, pseudo-religious, like Rite of the Seven, Game of Thrones style stuff going on. I'm a nun, basically. In my interpretation. Listen, I gotta level with you real quick. You remember Barker, don't you? Barker is the dude that I fought last time. Really cool, like, contextual clue situation. It's where I feel like a little 80 Days influence coming in here. Sometimes you can interact with the text as well. Or at least I've seen that with Tizo, who you'll see eventually. Not exactly easy to forget, though, believe you me, I try. Well, he's got me by the scruff! I've been down here a little while, as you can see by now, but Barker, he's been here longer. He's made quite the name down here. As for me, I needed help, you understand. I had a certain standard to uphold, so I figured you would, or he would be the one to ask. Then Rookie hesitates. But his familiar grin returns. So what if I owe him, though, right, sister? I don't feel... Saying sister doesn't seem right for me, but... I got people back on the other side, and just between us, we're loaded. I mean, rich. My little problem with Barker soon is going to take care of itself just as soon as my people send the money through. So I am telling you right here and now, don't you even worry about it, and I'm sure everything on that front is going to end up real tidy real soon. It seems Rookie owes a debt of some sort. What's on the line, though, exactly, you are unsure. What's cool is that this dialogue changes a little bit based on the way that you interact with the game. So, previously you start the game with 3 companions, and then you choose 3 companions from your remaining suite of companions as you get more of them to take place in the rite. Or to take part in the rite, I should say. So, I had a unique interaction. I left the most stoic of my colleagues off of the roster, and then she talked to me later, and she was like, you know, I wish you wouldn't do that, but I understand your decision, but, you know, I would like it if it didn't happen again. So there's a little bit of different dialogue that can happen, I'm assuming, depending which cast member or party member you leave off here. Also, every party member has their own stats, level up system, you know, like skill tree that they can follow, inventory, and you'll see that as we progress here. So this is like the choose your own adventure style stuff, Banner Saga 80 Days layer that's happening right now. Come dawn, you find Hedwyn, who is kind of like the informal leader of our group, and Yodariel assessing the current situation with the Minstrel, who's kind of a mysterious, arcane character we don't know a lot about right now. Jodariel is this lady right here, who was the stoic one that I left off of my my second encounter. Are you most certain? Aye, madame, I make no claim the journey shall be pleasant, but it is necessary. Hedwyn motions to you as they continue talking. Seems we'll have some work to do once we arrive in Flagging Hands. Let's get going. As soon as you're ready, the sooner we get there, the sooner we can leave. And you're gonna see that this is just gorgeous when we move here, but, like, this is the number one word I would use to describe Pyre in my experience with it so far, is that it is, like, extraordinarily rich. It's got, like, a Secret of Nim sort of style going on here that I just noticed as well, but it's like, steeped in style. Like, it's gorgeous, it's artistic, it's considered and deliberate, and it really does feel kind of unique, I think, in the industry right now, despite also wearing its influences on its sleeve, which is kind of a cool mixture of old and new, I guess. The Flagging Hands region proves as dismal as Jodariel indicated. The air is thick and foul. How far to the pit of Millith? A mother I'd like if they hated Eastbound and Down. That doesn't make sense. I like Eastbound and Down. I was trying to make a MILF joke. I'll leave that to the MILF hunter. All the way across the marshlands on the coast. Reader, would you join me in the wagon for a moment? We have matters to discuss. Shall we? There's a new ball there that I've never seen before. Thank you for your time, reader. I have something for you on behalf of my client. Before you is an artifact called the Beyonder Crystal. An ancient artifact connected to the rites. Okay. As you have surmised, the triumvirates you are to confront during the rites shall stop at nothing to prevail against you. They have prepared for this for quite some time. The Beyonder Crystal may help ensure that you are well prepared in turn. It is a resource now at your disposal to be used at your discretion. Gaze upon it and you shall see what I mean. Henceforth, you may choose the Beyonder Crystal, or you may use the Beyonder Crystal. It is calling you. So sometimes we'll have the chance to take different actions in here based on dialogue choices, but you'll see that as we progress. So let's take a look at the Beyonder Crystal. You look upon the shimmering surface of the Beyonder Crystal. Some of your senses fail, though you retain a hold over your consciousness. An apparition appears before you, clad in the raiments of the rites, but incorporeal. I sense that you are not a total idiot. Thank you. The comments may beg to differ. She reaches for the clasps on her mask. So the Nightwings have returned. That's the name of our triumvirate. Oh, but where's my manners? You must be their lovely reader. Please, call me Sandra. We met briefly before when you first beheld the book. When you were stuck inside of it, I was among the phantoms your companions banished there, no doubt stroking their egos. You listened well enough to that damned voice. There is a narrator, but not to the same extent as the earlier Supergiant Games. Now I suggest you listen well to me. I am bound in servitude to you, along with any idiots whose freedom happens to be intertwined with yours. I know the rights better than anyone. I soon can whip you into shape if you but take advantage of my services. First, I offer Scribe Trials to those friends of yours. If they pass, it shall be worth their time and yours. Secondly, my Beyonders, a spectral triumvirate, banished for eternity and trapped within the rites, and I avail ourselves for practice rites, should you be so inclined. Okay, so we can test out loadouts and stuff like that against them. That's cool. Or you could always come and chat and briefly free me from an eternity of boredom. Alright, you have invoked Sandra from the Beyonder Crystal. What do you wish to do? We could talk to her. We could challenge her to a practice rite. We could bid her farewell, but let's do a Scribe Trial. Choose an eligible exile to brave one of Sandra's challenges and earn a unique reward if they prevail. Indeed, it looks as though one of those failures of yours is ready for a lesson in pain. Alright, so now we get to choose amongst our party for somebody. Is that a Tomo that wants to come in? No. For someone that can actually take the trial right now. And unfortunately, it appears that only one of our units is available. Because I'd really like to use Tizo. He's cute, he flies, he's quick and nimble. But we have to go with Rookie, and that's fine as well. So let's select him here. Prevail and earn a unique talisman, which is our inventory charm, basically, that we can use to get extra skills. Alright, let's do it. I suppose he is ready technically, though I have a litany of reservations about him, but let us bring him forth. Soon Rookie appears in heat of the summons. It's probably goes without saying at this point, it's a dialogue-rich game. Probably the thing, I mean, you could play it yourself as well, but maybe better to play than watch, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Unless you really enjoy this kind of like vocal work over and over. Oh, sister, why are you looking at me like that? Get dusted, Rookie. All right, this is up to us now. What did I tell you? They're quick and nimble. Though they tend to deal less damage per Pyre score. That is correct. Alright. Some kind of trick you're playing, sister? The apparition Sandra now appears and unfastens her mask. Shut your snout and listen. You answer to me here. Your mouth runs quicker than those stubby little paws. You've got much to learn if you have any intent to prevail in the rites. Let's see how you fare without the benefit of your trusted comrades. Let's do it. I'm beyond ready. Alright, we got 3 large units. We should be fairly well equipped to deal with them. These things are obstacles, I guess, by the way. So I'm just going to try to run around them. I will say I have a genuine complaint, and that complaint is that from the start of the game, and this is still pretty early on, but I have basically... We can jump into the exit here, by the way. Oh, I dropped it. I guess I got collided with in the air. Yeah, that was not a smart play on my part. The AI has not been fantastic. Now, I'm saying that as someone who admittedly lost. Oh, I really thought we were going to do it. I lost in that one that we did in Quick Match, but so far in the story mode, the AI has not been very difficult at all. And to be honest with you, I'm probably making my life harder than it needs to be by trying to get kills here. If we just went for the touchdowns, for lack of a better word, we'd probably be better off. But let's put our money where our mouth is there. So there was our jump. We made it again. We got a glory drive, whatever the heck that means. And one more score and we'll have completed at least the first stage of this trial here. So you can use your jump to get some verticality and get over their abilities there that hit you on the ground. Kind of as a dodge. I didn't realize that you had such a... Nope, not on my watch. I didn't realize that you had such a wide cast there. We dropped it, but we lived. Very merciful. Much appreciated. And then we'll get the win. That's more representative of what the AI has been like. It's been pretty easy so far for me to succeed in the story missions. It's lucky, I guess, in that case, that the game is rich enough that it doesn't feel like that's tedious. And they actually, like, space out the rights enough that you're really eager to have them by the time they show up, which I think helps stave off any sort of tedium you might feel from a lack of challenge at the start. And as we saw from the quick match, the AI can get more difficult. I think it's just a matter of when it happens. Alright, so we should get a trial or something as a result of that. Or, sorry, a trinket, which I believe they call talismans, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, you've kind of seen a little bit of all of the aspects of the game. And I think that really what I could say about Pyre is that none of the aspects seem 10 out of 10 A+ to me, but the overall package seems way better than the sum of its parts. It's just a game that's really rich and really cool. Kind of like Paris Hilton times -1. That's just punching down for no reason. Like it's like the imaginary number portion of Paris Hilton was multiplied by -1. What do I know? She's got 150 times more Twitter followers than me. But either way, I think it just seems like the kind of game that would be a really interesting game to play through. And I'm giving vague criticism and also vague praise, but it's got no single aspect of the game, and I tend to be mechanics driven as opposed to appreciating the sum of its parts, but no single aspect of the game has blown me away and been like, this is the mode of the future. This is the Nemesis system. This is Rocket League. You know, this is wall jumping. I don't know. But the whole thing just is a very pleasant world to inhabit, and I keep coming back to it, but it's really rich and robust. The characters, you know, they have stories, and they give you just enough. They don't overwhelm you with exposition, despite there being a lot of text, that it makes you want to know more, and I think that says a lot, because I almost never care about the lore in games like this, because maybe I just play too many. But whenever a game starts with like a 10-minute cutscene of like, on the planet of Neptunia, they're evil, blah blah, you're just like, you know, this game gives just enough to keep you kind of like intrigued. It gives you like one piece of information and a question, doesn't answer the question. Next time you start the dialogue, it answers the question and then gives you another question, etc., etc. We got Ylmer's Fang. After Rookie casts Zora, it lingers longer than usual, plus 200%. That seems like extremely good. So we will accept that reward, and let's exit here and see if we can do one more right over the course of the video. That would probably be good. So we'll continue our journey here. We haven't really had a choice about where to go yet, but sometimes you do get to choose like one of two different paths that you can take with you. Most of your fellow exiles lost -1 hope for the next right, so that affects their duration of banishment whenever they die or are otherwise removed from combat. For scoring, I suppose. Okay. So we can go to Cold Moat and get a valuable item if you take a job here. We can go to Plagmont to reduce loss of hope. Or we can go to Fallowfield. We can improve a talisman if we take a job here. Let's go to valuable item. Again, we're firmly in the way that the game works is like, right, choose your own adventure, right, choose your own adventure, right, choose your own adventure, over and over. The north route through Flagging Hands is dismal beyond reckoning. There is little talk among your group, yet you sense despair encroaching. Only Tizo seems unaffected. They lost 1 hope again. Later you accompany the lone minstrel in pursuit of his task here. Speak not directly to the living shade, be true to your heart when responding to its inquiries, and make no attempt to look it in the eye. Alright. A glimmer of a shade appears before you as you stand surrounded by the dead. You barely see it and it does not speak, but you feel its thoughts piercing your heart and mind. The book that you possess may lay some of the fallen here to rest. The shade leaves you to your work. You turn through the book, locating passages concerning freedom in the spirit. You recite such words as seem best fit to each of the fallen you see. It is draining work. The shade resurfaces after a while. It leads you to a hollowed stump, then fades away. And we got a Nox Shroom, which we can sell. There's like a market system in the game where we can sell items and buy items. Usually we sell stuff like this that is otherwise worthless to us, but is worth money, and we buy things that we can use in combat. And again, that's a very light encounter, but it's also representative of the encounters I've seen so far. Another game that seems like kind of a benchmark in terms of inspiration for this might be something like Fallen London or Sunless Sea. It's got that kind of macabre atmosphere to it, although obviously in this it's a lot more colorful. And the same kind of decision-making loop that you get into as well. Anyway, I'm going to... oh, they lost hope again. I am going to go to the shop really quickly, and I'm not going to worry about any of this other stuff, otherwise this video is going to stretch on to the point of absurdity. Okay, so we're going to sell our Nox Shroom to you, and then we're going to see what you've got to buy. I'm going to buy... Oh, that's a little expensive. Disregard. Grants the bearer +2 presence. Actually forgot what presence does. Faith Stone, +2 hope. Lucrative contract. After banishing an adversary, the bearer gains +1, up to 10 per right. That seems decent. Lunar Glass and the Kerfang. First off, let's open up our roster here. Go to Rookie and give him his unique talisman. And we'll just save our money. But you can see there's various things you can buy that essentially augment your stats. Primarily talismans. And then we're just going to commence the right here. And this will be the last thing that we do over the course of this video. Oh, Tizo, what happened, man? I want you to be on this mission. No! Is Tizo alright? He was so frightened. He was not frightened. I'm not Luden. He was issuing a warning. Silence, everyone. Take cover. Jodariel makes quick note of several hiding places among the nearby crags and rotted husks. You wait, something about this place dampens your senses, all you feel is a crippling dread. Then from the shadows, a writhing shape slides forwards, its hulking form draped in raiments. The shape stops, slowly its head turns from one of you to the next, each in turn. Wise of you to hide yourself from us, little Nightwings, you trespass on the resting place of the Astralborn. Dog, I put so many of them to rest, you don't even understand. Alright, so let's do the right. I'm ready. That was a bog crone. That was Witch Udmilda of the Withdrawn, a triumvirate of bog dwellers compelled by sinister forces rather than by freedom. Tizo's back. He does not like them. He might... Sometimes your units will actually forbid themselves or become unwilling to go on rights for enemies that they have a history with, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens here. Okay, let's... The dialogue has reached the point of absurdity for a video, but again, I actually like it when I'm playing, which is rare for me. So that's basically our right loading screen coming in here. And once we do this, we'll finish this. But yeah, Pyre, it's 20 bucks USD. It's the right price for, I guess, you know, for lack of a better word, and people are going to roll their eyes, but for a AAA indie of this scope and magnitude. And it's a really unique, fun, and cosmopolitan experience from a genre perspective. It melds, you know, choose your own narrative with a totally unique style of gameplay and RPG mechanics as well that serve to, I almost feel like, unify the mechanics and narrative to make you more invested in the characters because you're also in control of how they level up as time goes on. And I can't say enough about the art style. Like, the visuals are bright and vibrant, and the art direction in particular is really, really nice. I'm not 100% sold on the gameplay, on like the right gameplay specifically, but I do, I find myself enamored with it right now. I'm not sure if it has long-term staying power. I know you're not happy with me right now, but that's fine. Rookie trots forward. Listen here, you old behag. You don't scare any of us one bit, you or your buddy, ye slotch. Now, we doing this or what? I mean, of course we're doing it. Then she moves her slender fingers to her mask. Foolish Eslach shall grow, Eslach shall grow, Eslach shall grow. She's not as hideous as the crones from The Witcher 3, so I'll, you know, take reprieve in that. He shall consume ye, ere your little flame has died. That we shall ensure. Alright. You alright, Rookie? So ideally, we can take a little bit more of a varied party here. So let's take, nobody's unwilling. So dude, Tizo, get selected, son. Look at this little cutie. Then you got, let's take Faye, who I don't think we've seen so far. And we'll take only units we haven't seen so far, because we did see Headwind in the first battle. Let's take Jodariel. Jodariel has the a talisman that allows the Pyre to have +7 HP, by the way. So each of them has kind of a different archetype right now. So Tizo is definitely like, again, quick and nimble. He also, he doesn't have an aura. Nicely done. He doesn't have an aura, he actually has an implosion. So if I do this, I can get multiple units killed. Now I went with Yodariel here, which I should not have done. Oh, it didn't quite work. Because she is like wicked slow, dude. So I want to leave Tizo alive. No! I want to leave Tizo alive because the dude is the greatest scorer of all time. He can actually fly, which is completely unfair, but also gorgeous. I think there is a way to stop flying units, but Tizo is like so... He cannot be stopped. Meet the burb that can't be stopped. So, Jodariel, I have more as kind of like a defensive unit because her aura is so large that she can really play well kind of positionally. She can also run, but she's not high stamina, in case that's not abundantly clear. As a result, she actually gets way more points when she scores, which is why we got 30 there instead of getting the usual, like, you know, Tizo only gives us 15, for example. Now, again, the downside of my buddy Tizo here is that he can't actually cast. The only way he can kill enemies is to kill himself in the process. Faye is a little bit more, like, well-rounded, but also, I would say, like, closer to the nimble side of things. Oh, they jumped into me! That's alright, we still got one of them there. Closer to the nimble side of things. And she also has like a double jump that I've spec'd into, which allows her to do something like that. We score for 20, and we get 2 more scores and we're done here. Usually towards the end of a story-based, right, the enemies get a little stronger as time goes on, so they give you a little dialogue prompt. And apparently they put a bunch of poison on the ground, which is news for me. Oh, the poison kind of like, it just pushes you away. Alright, so honestly, being able to fly in this situation seems like a pretty big positive for us. Getting bounced around like a pinball table. You can kill multiple people with a single, nice jump. Oh, we were so close. Well, all we can really do here is try to crash into their aura or explode on them, which is what we did there. But we got 3 seconds to go. They're going to score for certain. But, wow, and they're going to score in a non-destructive way so that they get to keep 3 units. That's fine. We also get 3 units next turn. We collided with them mid-air and caused them to drop it, which honestly was like a big surprise for me that I then summarily squandered extremely quickly. So I'm assuming there's more strategy to this lair than I'm at the present moment aware of. As you can see, I'm getting my butt kicked lately, so that was probably not the smartest idea there. They're starting to get one over on me, and now, I gotta be honest with you, I'm looking like the AI. We don't want to be Tizo, yeah. Give me Faye here. Well, I don't know what you guys are doing, because you're not making it around me there. No! I tried to take control of them quick. You will never get Tizo. Tizo is my son. He's my sweet baby boy. And he cannot be stopped. Look, you're doing a great job of kicking him, but that's fine, because Tizo don't care, dude. Tizo will fly it into the end zone. So get 1 score with anybody else, and then you get that sweet Tizo love again. Okay, good job. Yodariel, or Jodariel, not our ideal choice. Extremely slow stamina regen, but the jump gets the job done, and we win. Accidentally. Whoops, did I do that? Anyway, this is Pyre. Pyre's cool. A little uneven, but also very polished, and a fun time. Really, like, ambitious, I would say. And thank you, Supergiant, for not just making, like, Bastion 3. I, like, genuinely thank you. I think stepping out of your comfort zone worked well in this particular scenario. But for now, there will be a link in the video description below to pick up Pyre on Steam. It's 20 bucks American. It's 10% off for its opening week sale, and of course, you can check it out via the link below if you're interested. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Click the like button. Both of them help out a great deal. And For now, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thanks to Supergiant Games. And I'll see you guys next time.